they won't do it. They'll stay loyal to their biological parent.
Incredible dynamics. It's so helpful, I am sure. If you're going to be looking at this road to case it out,
Yes.
get some preparation.
Yes.
It's a
This is
tough,
why
tough
70%
road.
of second marriages end in divorce in the United States. 70% of second remarriages with children end in divorce. Between it's this different stats, between 66 and 72%.
Here's something that can probably speak to many of us, whether you're looking at another marriage or not. I opened at the very first thing. Why do we do this?
Yeah,
we don't
yeah.
start here. We just go like this. And the first thing I read on page 160 was the Martha Stewart mom.
Yes.
And I discovered this is a whole chapter on types of biological moms.
Yes.
Give us a little
The reason
overview.
we did that is because as a stepmom, you're facing different things with the biological mom. And so what we did is we went from the really, really good, healthy mom, the mom who loves her kids, wants her children to have a relationship with the dad, understands that all of us at least living in harmony is the best case scenario for the child. That's the best type of biological mom to have when you're a stepmother. But we took it all the way to the very destructive mom who's either abandoned or is perhaps on drugs or maybe has some psychological issues, because you see her issues affect the stepmom's home. Those children then come into her home where they've experienced all of this behavior over in the biological mom's home. And it not only is affecting her marriage, but if she's got children, it's affecting her own biological children.
So the Martha Stewart mom, who is now not in the home,
Right.
was hyper decorator,
Right.
everything neat and orderly, and that's how the children have been raised.
That's right.
And that's probably the expectation of the husband
Yes.
in the home. And now what happens?
Well, and that's what we try to say. If the former wife was a Martha Stewart mom, and she makes all of the Halloween costumes from scratch, which is very much like the movie, the Stepmom movie, and you're not like that, don't try to live up to that expectation. If you don't make homemade granola and she does, that's quite all right. Just if pizza and salad is what you do for dinner, then let that be what you do for dinner. Doesn't mean you can't strive to try some new things, but don't beat yourself up over those issues. You're not expected to be like the biological mother. Let your own gifts shine, because there's things you do well that their biological mom doesn't do well. And so that's what we're trying to say is, you have to adapt to some degree, but yet don't try to be somebody that you're not, because it's not going to work. You'll fail eventually.
Laura, may I ask, how long did it take for you to reach a place where you were not the unwelcome intruder, but you actually felt you owned your space as woman of the house?
Yes, I think, the studies show that it takes about 7 years for a step family to bond.
It's a number of completion, perfection.
Yes, to start feeling like somewhat of a family. For me, it started happening, I think, again, when I started praying and getting healthier myself and my own who I am in Christ. I am the beloved, regardless of what anybody else thinks of me. That's who I am. Not what I do, it's who I am. And so that began that process. But when it really, I think, started happening is when my stepsons had children. And I started loving on their kids.
You were grandma.
See, to those children, I'm Nana. I'm not step-Nana. They only know me as Nana.
They don't bring any junk into the relationship.
And who doesn't love somebody who loves on their kids?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't do that as a manipulative thing. I purely did it because God was calling me to love on these children, to pray for these children, to encourage these children. And so I did that, and in return, that caused a bond between us that was tighter than before. Now, I am still their father's wife, and this is what I want to say to stepmoms.
They don't call you mom or
I am
anything.
not their mother.
No.
They don't need a mother. They don't want a mother. I am their father's wife. Stop being offended by that. It's who I am, and it's okay. Now, the kids see me as Nana. But to the stepsons, now it's interesting because in particular, my one daughter-in-law, she will call me when she introduces, this is my mother-in-law. Now my stepson will always say, this is my stepmom. So it's just that the relationships can be different with each family member, and that's why it gets a little confusing because, okay, why am I one thing over here but I'm something else over there? It really, and one stepchild may like you more than the other stepchild. That's not uncommon too. You may have one, the son who's crazy about you as a stepmom, and the daughter can't stand you. It's normal.
And I'm just thinking you may be feeling the need for supernatural help in any kind of relationship that is not harmonious, that is robbing you of joy and peace today. Our prayer lines are available 24/7. You can call right now if you like and ask God with someone agreeing with you, a wonderful prayer partner. It could begin this kind of turn in your story today.